My name is Tony, and this is Every Frame a Painting.
So there's a new movie by the guy with the cool editing.
I cannot recommend Edgar Wright enough.
The guy knows how to make a stylish film, and Last Night in Soho is pretty snazzy, man. I mean, it's certainly a bit more dramatic than the Waffle House lighting of Avengers Endgame. There are some decent moments in the score by the composer of Suicide Squad. The use of 60s artists was pretty good as well. Even if I wasn't familiar with most of them, I just can't listen to music unless I have an awesome biopic to go along with it.
I was born with 4 additional incisors. More space in my mouth means more range.
Wikipedia is not acceptable.
Looks like this film's probably gonna bomb at the box office though, so I can't wait to get a video like,
Guys, Last Night in Soho is a throwback to 70s horror like Suspiria. We just don't get movies like this anymore. Studio heads are taking notes.
Anyways, one might say this film is great on a technical level.
Great on a technical level.
Bet you didn't see this coming. Now let's talk about the writing. The writing in this film is very subtle and quite subversive. Every character in this film is just cartoonishly evil, except for the main girl who's cartoonishly friendly.
It's perfect. I love it.
There's a great scene where she overhears her roommate saying,
That new girl is such a freak.
I know, right?
There's also a scene where she's at a party and someone takes her Beats by Dre headphones and says,
You listen to that 60s granny shit?
Cause she likes to listen to old music. She's not like the other girls. Yeah, I'm sorry, in reality, this guy would be wearing a Velvet Underground shirt and would say something like,
Old music was so much better. Now everyone just uses auto-tune, like Justin Bieber.
It's all super forced and just feels like a cheap gimmick to make you like the main character. There's also some unintentionally funny moments. Like there's a part where a character says,
I don't give a flying fuck.
Instantly gets hit by a car. It's also fairly generic as a horror film. It's a lot of loud sound effects and CGI monster men.
Oh yeah, jump scares galore also. Are you kidding me?
The ending also just turns into overblown MCU nonsense. Like everything just catches on fire for no reason. It doesn't even add anything to the scene.
But it adds drama.
Now the marketing simultaneously shows way too much while also not telling you what the actual theme of the film is. I wouldn't consider it a spoiler, but just use your own discretion if you want to know absolutely nothing. So more or less, Last Night in Soho is horror for the Me Too era. And the writing is about as subtle as Stranger Things Season 3.
I know how it sounds.
With one exception, every single male character who she interacts with has to say something like,
So when we going back to my place, baby?
It's just super in your face and obvious, and the only guy who doesn't act like a total jackass is her milquetoast, spineless boyfriend. He's in fashion school and says stuff like, Hey, wanna talk about your feelings?
Express yourself.
He never cracked a joke, he wasn't charming in any way.
Permission to approach the bench.
Felt like the movie was basically saying, all men are predators, and the only guys who aren't are frail beta males with no personality.
This has actually made our relationship even better and more open.
Aside from the straw man social commentary, the story is also just kind of a mess. I wouldn't consider this a spoiler because it's in the first 5 minutes, but they set up that the main character's mother died, and she sees visions of her. I've been having dreams! It's one of the first things they mention, so you kind of think it's supposed to matter.
I've been having dreams.
But then it's just unresolved by the end of the movie.
That's just called good writing.
Gonna get into spoilers to talk about the ending, so either skip to this timestamp or keep listening if you've seen it or don't care. So the big twist is that Olenna Tyrell is actually Anya Taylor-Joy's character. She wanted to become an actress, but Matt Smith exploited her. Some lady in the theater lobby was all like, Yay, Matt Smith's in the movie! I was like, Matt Smith's a pimp in the movie. Anyways, Olenna Tyrell is very mad that Eloise knows she killed her pimp, so she resorts to poisoning her, and then it turns into the evil old lady cliche from It Chapter 2, or the trailer for It Chapter 2, because I haven't seen it and I don't really want to.
I don't really want to watch it.
We then get a you'll die the same as the rest of them cliche. Then everything catches on fire. and her beta male boyfriend tries to help her, but then he gets stabbed by an 80-year-old and leaves her to die. Anyways, they're all fine, and the movie ends with her being like, "Oh look, I designed a dress inspired by some lady who tried to poison me, and look, my beta male boyfriend and grandma are here to watch."
Express yourself.
She basically just spent the entire movie observing someone else's story. Her learning what she did didn't impact her desire to be a fashion designer, nothing changed.
She isn't the same at the end of the film. Lies!
Anyways, that's about it. Oh, I forgot to mention, this video is sponsored by Spatial Audio.
Spatial Audio pan around the trailer in a 360 experience.
So yeah, this movie was not great. It kind of reminded me of Sucker Punch and was like an overt and annoying version of The Invisible Man.
One-eye symbolism, a Freemason.
Anyways, comment your thoughts on the film, whether you loved it or hated it, whether you're planning to see it, or your rank of Edgar Wright's films. Thanks for watching. Bye.